We're drawing inspiration from visual and performing artist Faith Ringgold. One of the things she was best known for were her story quilts, where she combined fabric, painting, and storytelling to celebrate scenes from African American culture and family life. If we take a closer look at her piece, The Dinner Quilt, we see a family all dressed up, seated at a dinner table. And you'll notice on the corners of the quilt, there are stories written about the kinds of things that families talk about when they get together. Think about the last family celebration dinner that you had. What were you wearing? What was everybody else wearing? What kind of foods do you have at celebrations? And what kinds of things do people talk about? For this project, you will need a piece of construction paper and bits of fabric, some white paper to draw on, a pencil, some glue, something to color with, and scissors. Your first step is going to be to cut as many strips of paper as there are people in your family, or the family that comes to celebration dinners. So I folded the paper to give myself some guidelines, and then I'm going to cut 6 pieces of paper, one for myself, my husband, my son, and my parents, and my dog. Your next step is to draw little pictures for each person in your family. Think about all the little details that make a person look like that person. So I wear glasses, so I'm drawing in glasses. I have longish hair, and I really like wearing stripes. I'm going to give myself some stripes. So you're drawing little portraits of everyone in your family, and you'll notice it's just the head and shoulders. And then color in your little sketches. So markers don't often come in skin tones that match actual people, so this is where you can have a little bit of fun with your portraits. My husband does not have lavender skin, but I went ahead and gave it to him anyway. And he definitely doesn't have purple hair, but I kind of like the way that it looks. And then I added a little bit of gray because he does have some hair, and it adds a little bit of realism. So now me. I'm starting with brown hair because my hair is brown, but I'm leaving little spaces to give myself some highlights because I do have highlights. They're definitely not green though, but I like the way that it looks, so I'm choosing green. And I love wearing red lipstick. There's my family. If you look at the dinner quilt, you'll notice that Faith Ringgold's style is to draw the food from the top view, as though you were looking at it hovering over the table. So on the left you'll see the side view, but I'm going to choose to draw mine in the top view in the style of Faith Ringgold. What kind of foods do you eat at your family dinners? My family's Filipino, so we like to have pancit, a noodle dish, some lumpia, which are egg rolls, and every family dinner always has some rice. So here, draw the kinds of things that your family eats. The next step is to choose your tablecloth. So I'm going to use this piece of fabric and glue it to my green construction paper, and this will be my center table. I'm trying to decide where the food goes, but I realize I think I like these a little bit trimmed. So I'm going to cut off the little bit of the extra and then put them where I think they look pretty good. Next, decide where everybody sits. If there's a place people usually sit at the table, put them there. Like my husband always sits on the left, my parents like to sit together on the other side of the table, and my dog always there. You might notice that everyone is facing front, and that's the way that Faith Ringgold did it too. So the next step is to cut bits of fabric to make a border around your family dinner. Faith Ringgold used fabric and quilting almost like a frame around her piece. Now that you have your strips, go ahead and figure out how you want them to look. So you might want to do a pattern like I'm doing here, or there are a lot of different kinds of quilts out there, including ones that use all kinds of materials. And once you have it the way you like it, glue it down. And the last part is the story. So Faith Ringgold put stories on each of the corners of this quilt about the kinds of things that families like to talk about or think about when they've gathered together for a dinner. I'm going to start at the top left corner so that my story can be read clockwise, even though there's no real beginning or end. I'm just going to put down one thought for each person.